second podcast episode. So, in the previous mock runs of podcast episodes that maybe aired, I spoke about pretty much the Truman Show and how people can have implicit bias against you, judging from what they think they perceive, or it's not really a logical, for the most part. Sometimes it's not logical that a person may view things, and they come from a very emotional, they come from an emotional stance, and it shows. So, relating on that, what I was talking about is Truman, the character, and pretty much everyone is watching this guy, and they pretty much approach him. There's certain characters that do approach him, and they watch him like a hawk. They watch everything that he does, and depending on the person, because it does stem to your nature, and your intentions, and whether you have pretty much a good heart or not. And some people would pretty much be opportunists, and they pretty much will manipulate Truman with the things that they knew of him, but Truman didn't know that they knew, because he was under some kind of falsehood, and people were pretty much banking. They were banking off his life, right? They pretty much was using an unjust documentation of a man's life for their own gain. I do recommend people to watch it, but case scenario in the real world. So it can be very dangerous, and it can make you very paranoid, and really just scared. And it can go scared for your life depending on the wrong person. So let's give a scenario, right? I love scenarios. Say you had, I wouldn't say altercation, but say you had a fallout. Soft fallout. It's not, people, it's not rivalries, but it's this is not going to work. So I'm going to go my way. And I wish you the best of luck on your way. And this is something where both people know what the variables are as to why there was a falling out. And let's say that you're going on your merry way, you think it's over, and you just, you're going through life, right? Your new challenges, old challenges, whatever. You're just pretty much trying to survive, trying to grow, trying to thrive, whatever. And let's say the other person that you had this falling out with then goes to tell the town, right? Telling the town all their side of the story, and everything about you, right? So that happens. Say months down the line, and now the person that kind of just had the falling out with and just kind of went about their life and was just like, all right, whatever, it's a loss, it's unfortunate, but I'm moving on, right? Say this person now has to go and buy furniture, right? Something random. They're going to the store to buy something. And the person that works at the store knows the other person and has heard all these things about you, right, in their side. So that person now has some kind of, their perception of you is now skewed because it's with lenses, right? And if you're not mature enough, you're going to fall to the other side. And even if they know all the variables, sometimes it triggers that outsider of something inside them where they are now, I'm going to treat you a specific kind of way because of because of the falling out you had with someone I can relate to, right? So you're trying to buy furniture and you're literally making this, easy, clean transaction. How much is this? I'm ready to pay for it. Here you go, right? Let's do the paperwork. And you're shopping around and you're looking and you're like, okay, well, I like this blue one. You know, so how do I get this blue one? And the store clerk is just like, well, it's not blue, it's sapphire. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I like this sapphire couch. How much is it? Like, how can we do the paperwork? Well, you really don't know the measurements, so why would you want to buy something that you don't know anything about? And this person's pretty much is like challenging the person. Now, this becomes particularly dangerous. It can be, because that was just a store clerk. But imagine someone that the other person spoke to and say that they're like a hitman or someone that just doesn't care and will take a life just because they want to, right? And because the other person told their side of the story, or even if they told all the side of the story, because you did that, and you pretty much came from like I did no wrong. I'm pretty much the victim here. And this person's like a horrible monster, right? Because most people love to be the hero in their own story. It's true. We all know it. No one's wrong in their own story. It takes incredible amount of humility and just saying, I messed up, in order for you to be like, this is what it was, right? Most people say they're the victim. So they pose themselves as pure victim, didn't do anything, nothing that could have made this falling out happen. And now the person that kills for joy is just like, you know what? I don't like that person. And even though they may not say nothing, God forbid that person ever is around that other person's neighborhood, they can then, oh, that's where that person lives. I'm gonna pay him a visit. And the other person sitting there thinking that, okay, life went on, going about their business, and lo and behold, somebody breaks into your house and shoots the person up and their whole family overnight. And then you see it on the news. And then it's tragic because, God forbid the other person finds out about it. It can either be two things. It can be, oh man, I said that and then that person did all of that. And now that person's life is gone. Was it really worth it? Or B, I feel like this is something wrong, but I'm just going to choose to ignore it and still play the victim because that's how I already kind of painted it to be, right? So I'm just going to kind of keep it. And they're not going to face it. They're not going to face themselves. They're not going to face other people about it. And they're not going to be like, hey, there's two sides to every story. And I may not be as much of a victim as I think I am. You may not have done all of it, but you're not completely innocent either, right? So those are the two things that can happen. And the other thing is, the third option is, good, I'm happy that they got him. Bring you justice because, that person hurt me. And that's just like, you got a lot of healing you got to do, yo. You got a lot of healing. But that's literally the extreme side of implicit bias. And it can happen. There's a lot of people that ostracize other people. It happens every day at the in the workplace. One coworker says one thing about another coworker, and then half the building is ostracizing that one coworker because of something that was probably either, it could be a misunderstanding, or they both said what they said, but it's between them, and now the whole workplace is now putting that other person in potential risk of mental health decline, because we all know ostracizing and people thinking that they want to be a hero, you actually are a villain at this point, because now you're taking yourself as a way to get vengeance. And whether that stems from, I don't know, fighting for what you think is an underdog, or something that kind of stems from out of that person's life or childhood or whatever their experiences were, it doesn't make it correct. And that comes into play of not thinking logically. Some people will lose out on a whole lot of opportunities because of emotion. And I've played into that role too. I've blown up. I couldn't take it anymore. It took me a few months, took me a few years to get to that point, but I did. And that's where I messed up at. Blew up all the way. There was probably 1,000 freaking millions of opportunities I could have had. But because I got so pissed off, I got so mad, it was just well, forget this and F that and da-da-da. This ain't da-da-da. Some people actually get offended, They may not know everything that is going on with you. They may not know all the variables. All they see is that you blew up. And some people don't care what happened to you. They just care that you said this offensive thing to me. Well, not even to them. I said it, and it wasn't pertaining to anyone in particular, except for maybe one person. And that was the ticker of, this is what's wrong with the situation. And society does it. Everybody does it. And that person or potential people took it upon themselves as a personal blow to them. I don't know the face behind potential opportunities. Who was the face behind the person that's going to extend the olive branch? I don't know. But that also, there's power in the tongue. You can give life or you can kill. And I've killed and I've given life. And it is a learning journey of not being a clapback queen. Sometimes I am. It's not necessarily the best thing, and then sometimes I'm not. And it's surprising because sometimes I'm not. At the times where people would be mostly, I would have got mad at that point. And then some things that you just shrug off the shoulder, I literally blow a gasket, and it's just girl, what are you doing? So you gotta figure out how you react to things. And if something does happen where you do feel that, know the proactive steps afterwards. Do you think it's cute to gossip about other people? And do you think it's cute to paint a picture that is not actually the picture to gain sympathy or someone to be on your side? You never know who's the killer in your group. And if you're speaking to a lot of people, there's a couple of killers in your group at this point. The larger your circle, not everyone has the same heart as you do. So you don't know the domino effect you may have because of the role that you want to play. And it shows the character of that person. Now, I can say, for the most part, sometimes I still have to deal with, but for the most part, I've learned that it's just I messed up, I messed up, period. And I don't know how much it's going to take to fix this, but I am sorry, But some people don't even see it that way, or want to see it that way, or enjoy the fact of being in that sympathize situation or mindset, I should say. Not the situation, but the mindset. I want to be coddled, and I don't want to fix this problem. I don't want to take the proactive steps to actually respect the other person. Because most people, even if you don't come to a resolution, people take it a step further, and that's when it gets really dangerous. So it's just like, be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of evaluating yourself. Do a SWOT analysis of yourself. Am I playing the victim here? Am I truly did not have 100% done anything wrong to this person, or come at this person in a particular type of way, and it came out of nowhere? You know how it goes. Was it 100% factual? What I painted the picture as, what I said. And if you can co-sign to that, and you really feel like that in your heart, then ask God. God, is my heart correct? God, did I do the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Or not even that. God, what should I do? This way you don't have to do any cleanup. What should I do? God will direct you. And there's times where I've taken the wheel and said, I want to do this. I feel that this is right. And it was the wrong damn time to take a wheel. And God is just like, yeah, so I'm going to have to convict your spirit. And there's times where I've just apologized, which is like, yo, bro, I'm sorry. Because you know what? This is my fault. And this is the reason why this is my fault. And sincerely apologize, So if a person can't do that, I can't rock with you. But if you can't do that, if you're not even entertaining the fact of that, everything is... I am never the problem. I did nothing wrong ever throughout life. It will show where you're at in your life. So, so it's just like, if you're not showing it kind of, I'm going to try and do X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to get up on my own. Or not even get up on my own. I'm pretty much needing to grow.
I'm hungry.
Is Grandma finished?
No.
Okay, when Grandma's finished, I'm gonna make it, okay?
Grandma's making fish.
Okay. She'll be finished soon. Fish is very quick. I'll make your food. Okay?
Okay, and
Okay,
why
baby?
do you have 3 lighters next to the...
I found them all. They're all over the place. Oliver. That's fine.
Mommy, I'm the one that found those 3.
Okay, thank you, Oliver.
You're welcome. Bye. I'm gonna get my next phone.
Okay.
Ow.
Be careful. Bye, baby. Careful.
I hit everything.
You gotta be careful. You just gotta be aware of your surroundings. But that's what I wanted to say. You don't know the harm you do, or the potential harm you can do by what you say. So, and it's a trickling effect. It's a domino effect. Say that person really needed that commission for that couch because of how that person acted, because they were going off of their emotions. I'm not buying the couch. I don't even want the couch. I will buy a blue couch in whatever hue or shade, but not that sapphire couch. And it could lead to a lot of different opportunities. You never know who you meet through that. A customer could recommend a whole lot of other people that actually, that have substantial amount of revenue, to say, I like your customer service, I like your style, I like how much you know about about how much you know about couches. And I want to set you up this way you can make your own couches. You never know. Never know. So, yes, I've been on both sides of the domino effect of winning and losing. You just try not to lose as much. That's all it is. You try not to lose as much opportunities as possible, because you will lose opportunities. You can't please everybody. But you want to make sure that the majority is the one that you're gaining and not, losing. So, I don't know. I wish people the best. I hope that you get everything that you need in life. I hope that you grow and be well, be successful, have joy. And that's it. That's where I can only go but so far. I can't, I can only wish the best and support, even though you may not have that perception of me. And that's okay. Because all things change. They may get worse. Their perception of you may be worse. Or they may be better. I don't know. All I can do is figure out how am I going to be a better customer, and how am I going to be able to be a better person selling a couch. And if that person calls the couch blue, I am not going to say it's sapphire. I'm just going to say, yup, and it's a damn sure pretty color blue, ain't it? And I'm going to leave it as that. So, that podcast episode is going, Potential podcast episode will tie into the Truman Show one right afterwards. Yeah, okay.